This is a video on why it's amazing to be an architect. If you're wondering whether to study architecture or you're a little disillusioned, hopefully this will get you revved up. We're using a scheme by an Italian practice based in Milan who are called Peter Pickler Architecture, where they've designed these absolutely amazing lodges in a forest, and we're using that as an example to demonstrate the power we possess as architects, and obviously demonstrating all the tools we've got available to us and how exciting that is to demonstrate our ideas, but just have fun with it as well. To start this process, I mocked up a very quick SketchUp model, just a blocky model, nothing too accurate, just something to get us moving and just start to paint that picture of the kind of the forest scene that we're trying to create. And what I'm doing is I'm just calling up the precedent just a few times, just to get a rough position of the lodges and just the steepness of the slope, and just giving some very basic colours. Then moving into adding a bit more detail to the lodges, just adding a protrusion around the edge just to give us that space to position the glazing. And you can see just very simple forms, very quick. This is actually a good demonstration of how you can mock up ideas very quickly as well. The real-time rendering technology we've got available to us now is absolutely brilliant. And talking of which, obviously we're now in Lumion, and we're just adding some basic materials just to give us the very quick impression. Using a generic timber, just like a plank timber, adding that black colour into it, just nice metallic frame, nice wild grass, nice reflective water, and we're pretty well on our way to a decent scene. Then moving to the really setting it into the forest, which this is setting your project in place is absolutely massive, and we're working through an array of conifer trees, just the kind of standard ones in the background, and then moving into the high detailed ones in the foreground, and then just painting a little bit of kind of landscape furniture, if you like, just painting stones on, painting some rocks on, some bushes, just to start to picture that view, make it feel very natural, very overgrown. And you can see there how we're developing that real nice mood, and what a striking design we're working with here. And again, I say the message in this video is that this really demonstrates the potential that we possess as architects. What an amazing scene this is, and to really match the mood of the precedent, just building in that bit of weather, that bit of fog, and then just pulling out a quick test render just to really capture where we're up to. So then we move into the just adding that little bit of realism. So I wanted to add a bridge to the back with access to the rear of the unit. I think just seeing that bridge in the distance will just add to the whole realism of the scene. And as I say, the one driver here is clearly that just trying to remind ourselves that we are in quite a privileged position as architects, but this is also a good demonstration of really arriving at a quite an exciting design quickly, and this actually makes our job a lot easier and a lot more efficient. There's a lot of talk in the industry of working conditions of an architect, and they can get really stressful, but processes like this do make it fun, and they do make it actually quite quick, which you'd like to think takes a little bit of the pressure off us. So what we're doing here is starting to populate the interiors of the lodges. Strangely enough, the best exterior images are the ones that have the most detailed interiors. It makes it really convincing, makes it feel full of life. And a key thing here is what I'm doing is I'm exploring adding light to the scene, and I've actually entered the build mode with the effects on, Without that, you'd never truly understand the impact of the lighting. Once the lighting is established and the kind of the warmth of the material inside the lodges, I then start to distribute the lighting across the scene. On the example as well, there is obviously there's life in them, in the units. There's people, there's couples, there's children. So just starting to really add life to the interiors. And although this video is sped up, it's not sped up loads. This only took an hour all in, really, and you can just see how quickly we arrive at a fairly convincing concept, which would get you to a point with a client, whether a client or a tutor, you'd know soon enough whether you were on the right sort of track, which again, as I say, makes the process very efficient, but I think very fun as well. This was a real exciting thing to do, really, exploring this design and just testing some nice renders, and it is a good way to just remind yourself of how lucky we've got it, and it reminds me how far the technology has come as well. So at this point, just adding the stairs, and I forgot to make the treads a component, so just sort of doing that after the fact. Just kept them open tread, which is on the example. And again, we're not going for too much realism, really. It's just about it's just about exploring that really nice concept. And sometimes I do this to just as a bit of a break. Sometimes, if you're working on something quite boring, or you've been on a project for so long, sometimes I do like to just pull myself away from it and just work on something quite conceptual. And then to round the images off, it's just boosting the lighting and fine-tuning those effects, just adding God rays in, boosting the fog. We're adding a person to the bridge again. Just that little bit of animation on the bridge just makes it feel that bit more realistic. And then adding a vignette to focus the view towards the center, and then that color analog lab, which adds a kind of a filtering effect to the image. And then before the final render, just wanted to frame it with some trees, the high detailed trees. I think when you bring that to the foreground, it really adds to the realism. And look at those shots that we're ending up with. What a project! What a privilege that must have been to work on. And then just to finish us off, a little bit of post-production, using the camera raw filter initially, but then making a copy and moving into cinematic filters, which are absolutely brilliant, and just boosting the lighting with a soft brush and a soft light blending mode. I hope you enjoyed that video. There's plenty more where that came from, and we're going to keep pushing that message of how amazing it is to be an architect. See you in the next one.